The argument about Sniper needing to be nerfed or not has been talked to death at this point, but let me tell you why I think Sniper needs a nerf. More specifically, why quickscoping needs a nerf. As I'm sure you all know, a quickscope is enough to instantly kill 5 out of the 9 classes in the game at any range, so long as they are in the sightline of the sniper, or remove half, if not a majority, of the remaining 4 classes' health. The common argument in support of leaving Sniper as is, aside from just move lol, is that quickscoping requires an ample amount of skill in order to pull it off consistently. And yes, this is correct. A vast majority of Sniper players are not within that upper echelon of skill that enables them to consistently quickscope and effectively wipe an entire server as soon as they make their presence known. Therefore, the ability for a sniper to completely shut down a server isn't often realized, unless you come across someone that's poured hundreds or thousands of hours into the class, or a cheater's around. But it still does happen, and when it does, you're usually better off just leaving the server so you can actually play the game. Most remedies that I've seen for Sniper being too strong, either mentioned in discussions or via third-party balance changes to the game, seem to address everything but the most pressing issue with Sniper. They either opt to drop the amount of damage a quickscope does from 150 down to something smaller, so the medic, the other most influential class in the game, can't get dropped unfairly. Or they reduce the sniper rifle's ammo count so a sniper has to reposition more often and not camp in one spot while melting the entire enemy team into slag. The problem with Sniper, and with quickscoping, at least for me, doesn't come from damage output or the effectiveness it has while being stationary. The problem with Sniper, and with quickscoping, is that it's quick. Too quick. So quick, in fact, that when facing a skilled sniper, even one that is unscoped, most players don't have enough time to react accordingly in order for a fair fight to ensue. In many instances of a player coming across a skilled, unscoped sniper, the fight is decided in the blink of an eye. And I do quite literally mean in the blink of an eye. Just for bare bones perspective, here is what a quickscope looks like. The amount of time from scoping in to critical hit headshot damage was 0.24 seconds. The fastest I could do this manually was down to 0.21 seconds. And if you time things right, or get a script, you can get this time window down to exactly 0.2 seconds. Mechanically, TF2 has a time delay between scoping in and being able to deal a full critical hit damage headshot, the time delay being 0.2 seconds. If you try to land a headshot before that time limit, you won't deal a crit, you'll just deal 50 damage. This time delay was added back in 2008 when the devs realized that without this kind of a limiter, a sniper's damage output is simply too fast and too high, and as it's stood for the past 10 years and longer, it's still too fucking fast. Would you like to know how fast the human eye blinks? On average, around 100 to 400 milliseconds, 0.1 to 0.4 seconds. So in about the same amount of time it usually takes for someone to blink, you can one-shot someone or remove most or half of their health from any range. Let that sink in for a moment. 0.2 seconds is simply not enough time for, frankly, anyone to react to an unscoped sniper whose sightline they suddenly appear in. It requires borderline inhuman reaction time, once you take lag compensation into account, to take evasive action unless you already know the sniper is potentially looking down that sightline. Quickscoping a sniper is simply too fast. And that's it. That's why quickscoping needs to be nerfed. And you nerf it by increasing that time delay between scoping in and being able to deal that critical hit headshot. Say, increase it to something like half a second to 0.8 seconds. Enough to slow the sniper down so players have a chance to react. Or, look around and process if a sniper is even present and not get punished for not noticing him within the amount of time it takes to blink. For most players, this kind of a change wouldn't impact their gameplay. since most sniper players tend to wait and take their time before taking a shot. It would also make sniper versus sniper more interesting, and not totally reliant on second scoping. A nerf like this would only affect sniper players within that upper echelon of skill that can completely shut down a server just by making their presence known, which is when most people tend to have a problem with the class and where the problem lies. It would also firmly place the sniper's effective range exactly where it needs to be, medium to far range, and, you know, not anywhere. Everyone else would be fine. Only the higher skilled players would complain because a necessary cap like this wasn't in place over 10 years ago, and they just bitch and moan about, nah, I can't one-shot people whenever I want. You can still one-shot 5 out of the 9 classes in the game at base damage, you can still camp out all you want and shoot people from across the map, but in order for those abilities to be more fair for everyone playing as any other class, they simply need to be slowed down so players can have a chance to react accordingly and create a fair fight. Oh, Chester, you're just bad at the game. Just move and jump, get good. You only have to compensate by moving by a few pixels. You're just mad at players that are better than you. If you walk into a scoped sniper sightline, that's your own fault. If you walk in front of an unscoped sniper sightline, you shouldn't be punished for doing so in less than the amount of time it takes for your brain to process that you need to take evasive action. You gotta remember, Sniper is the only class in TF2 whose primary damage output isn't affected by range, so he needs to be balanced accordingly. That's it. Now, tear my head off in the comments section if you haven't already started doing so. Aren't opinions fun, kids? Aren't they great? Aren't they fucking swell? Oh god. It's the internet, baby. It's the fucking internet. It's the fucking internet. Help me!
I'm upset. Annoying scenario 2. You're out shopping for groceries. The cat behind you's following awfully closely. You just know he's gonna end up in line behind you. Smash it as bug against your ankle sinews. Sorry to force the rhyme, but you of course knew I meant sinews. Regardless, sure, you've been through similar scenes, so my wrath will register. How about when they open up a new cash register and that same cat behind you waste no time to make us move to be first in the new line? Rude's an understatement. We've been waiting longer than you. Really, man, come on. What the hell's wrong with you? Did you think I was waiting specifically for that one cashier who's particularly gifted, really capable of bagging canned goods and calculating subtotals? Sadly, pal, you're mistaken. Like you, I'm trying to exit as soon as possible.